Hello, you all. I hope all is well with everyone. This is your girl, Jenna. And today we are doing a video. This video was brought to you by the fact that Khaleesi's husband passes away from stomach cancer at the age of 37. Hmm. I just did a story on Tracy Braxton just a few days ago, and now this. Okay, so I did hear months ago that her husband did have stage four stomach cancer, and I didn't hear anything else. I mean, if you go on her Instagram and things like that, she's just basically, you could never tell that she was dealing with a husband that was very ill. But yeah, we got news today that he did pass away, I think today or yesterday. So let's talk about stomach problems, why the stomach is so important. Me being a holistic practitioner, I was thinking that, being that it was stage four, were there other signs that something was not uh, correct? Guys, can you hear me? Hit the heart buttons if you can hear me. I just want to make sure if you can hear me. As you're coming in, you can also say hello and things like that. It's a regular video. I am here. Okay, so you guys can hear me. So yeah, I was thinking, because when I hear things like this, like when I was younger, things like that used to always like bother me and make me sad. But now what I do is I actually like try to dissect the problem. So let's talk about it. Stage four cancer is pretty bad. It's when it has spread everywhere, spread to the lymph nodes and things of that nature. I read a little bit of what he wrote on his Instagram because I think he was kind of journaling his journey with dealing with it and all. And he said that he had had pain in his abdomen, loss of appetite, and pain in his back. Okay, so pain. Appetite it was not doing well, and pain in the stomach. So I am an advocate for people to start looking at their body as a vessel, and our bodies always gives us some type of vibe or sign that something is not well. How does it do that? It'll do that by having pain. It'll do that by having swelling. It will do that by discoloration. It will do that by not allowing you to eat. Because if your body isn't functioning well, it doesn't want to take in anything. Let's talk about fasting. Fasting is very important. Most people would just think fasting means to not eat. That's one part. But also fasting from things that stresses you out at least once a week will help you to deal with your body. It basically give your body more time to heal and have like a day of rest mentally, spiritually, and physically. Who in here fasts from something at least once a week? Say me. Like me, once a week, usually on Sundays, I won't take any of my supplements. Okay, I read a long time ago that you should, if you're a person like myself who takes supplements a lot and things, I take supplements every day for every little thing that I feel like I need. I take some type of supplement for it. And I'll take one day out of a week where I won't take anything. Just basically to allow my body to function on its own, to allow it to recalibrate, to allow it to cleanse out. It'll give your liver a little bit of a chance to kind of have a rest, your kidneys. Sometimes on my day of rest, I just literally just rest and like my body is able to just release more. And I might even like lose like 2 or 3 pounds of just held up fluid that day. If you're constantly going and going and going and going and never resting your body, first of all, you're not honoring it. You're not treating your body in the way that God wants us to treat it, which is to have 1 day of rest. And that's literal 1 day of where you do nothing. Now, I went through a stint in my life where I was not able to do that because I was a caregiver. And whomever has done caregiving, you know that whoever is watching this, anybody who's been a caregiver, you don't get any type of rest. You're constantly working because you're taking care of your loved one, no matter how you feel, no matter what you're going through, you need to be there. And I went through that for about 11 years of just having to take care of someone. So when that was not there anymore, my body had to recalibrate. And sometimes coming down from that type of stress, your body will start to show signs of what it should have been showing during that time. But because you were so stressed out, because your mind was hard coded to do that caregiving job, your body just would not even allow you to have those signs so you could kind of save yourself. Sometimes after caregiving, that's when a lot of health problems start to arise. And so during the time of me caregiving, I always prayed and I always stayed as close to God as I could to kind of always allow me to know that this body needs rest. So I rested when I could. I couldn't rest like a whole day, but I would rest when I could. When I could have fun, I would do that. I adjusted my diet so my body wouldn't be super stressed out and things like that. Our stomachs is very serious. If your stomach is starting to act up, that is the first line of defense. 70% of our immune system lives in our gut. So anything that's taking your appetite away, which usually is stress. Who in here, when they get stressed out, they do not eat or they overeat? Just say me. I'm going to read this. I'm reading a comment, Facebook and YouTube. I do apologize. I'm going to go ahead and read it out loud, but I like to peruse it first and make sure there's no bad words in there, because if I say it, I could get in trouble. I'm on to keep inflammation. So basically, she says she's on some type of medication to keep inflammation down on her liver. I don't have enough info on fatty liver, unsure of foods to eat, stomach hurts when drinking cold water, no alcohol intake. Okay, Miss Diane. So I am a holistic practitioner. You may already know that. You probably already have seen several of my videos. I will encourage you to go and get a one-on-one with me and join my holistic community. I would love to work with you. It seems like you have a need, and I am there for you. We can go over some things in there. I can talk to you a little more in depth about your situation and get you on the road to where you need to be, so we can get that fatty liver together and what any other things you may have. Okay, so yeah, I myself, when I get stressed out, I tend to not eat, but I have made myself to stop doing that. I have to eat something. So what I do is I'll drink water and I'll have a piece of fruit. Let's talk about organic eating. Who in here buys organic? Just say me. I just want to know. I myself, I buy organic sometimes. I'm not able to buy organic all the time. There are certain foods that you can get away with, that you don't necessarily have to buy organic and be okay, and things like that. And I would encourage you to join my holistic community if you are interested in stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, there are foods that you don't necessarily have to buy organic and be okay, but there are certain foods like strawberries. If you love strawberries, I love fresh fruit, but I'm not going to buy strawberries that are not organic. Uh, Onions, on the other hand, you probably can get, away with not buying organic, but fruits where you eat the skin and everything, you want to make sure you buy organic. Let's talk about it. Now, the reason why I did this video again is because of the headline, but I like to talk about the stomach because the stomach is very important. So when we eat pesticides, Somebody go ahead and type up pesticides. When we eat pesticides, that gets in our gut, it gets in our bloodstream, it gets in our gut, and it basically kills off our good bacteria. Okay, so pesticides, they use pesticides to get rid of bugs. I'd rather bugs. I'd rather a little bugs than have pesticides going through my system, wrecking my digestive system, causing me to be bloated, causing me to not have a great immune system, and causing me to be overweight, causing my other hormones to be all over the place, and things like that. That is the downfall with being vegan. Only reason why I do not like being, or would not see myself fully um, becoming vegan is because veganism will force you to eat more vegetables, more fruits. You would, in my opinion, you would have to make a certain amount of money to really honor that lifestyle correctly. Your body, of course, our bodies love more vegetables. Our bodies would love more fruit. I mean, that's basically what we are supposed to eat. If you look at our teeth kind of tells us that we literally don't have a lot of teeth to tear meat. We have maybe canine teeth, maybe four of them, and scissor teeth. But the rest of our teeth are molars. Molars means vegetables, fruit, things that you don't have to literally tear up, or you don't have to, have these serrated teeth to really digest. Our digestion system is much longer than a carnivorous animal. Okay, so a lion can eat meat, but a lion's digestive system is much shorter. So we can't eat like a lion. We're not supposed to be carnivores. We're kind of like omnivores, meaning that we eat vegetation and we can eat some meat, but we're not carnivorous. So anybody who's feeling like you can do keto or you're eating all meat, you run into other situations. I noticed that because I have lowered my meat intake considerably, I have lowered it just in the last month or so, just for me to just start to recalibrate my body. I don't eat beef. I don't eat pork. I might eat a little tiny bit of beef, but I don't eat beef regularly. I might eat it like once or twice every 3, 4 months. I'm just very picky about that. But I don't eat pork. But I do eat chicken, fish, and turkey. And I was eating a lot of turkey and things like that because the chicken, oh my gosh, I found out some things about chicken, and I am a chicken. Yeah, I love chicken. But I've noticed since I've cut down my chicken, my glucose is better, my blood pressure is better, my sleeping is better, my weight is better, all of that. So I don't know who that's for. But as we eat too much meat, our body just doesn't work correctly. So I would encourage you guys to eat more vegetables, eat more fruits, but do organic, okay? Which is kind of crazy because Khalees does have a farm. But who knows what type of situation their farm was in? Okay, you got to be careful. You have to ask questions about your food. People who go to farmers markets and things like that, see and let it and see what type of environment they grow their vegetables in. A lot of us don't understand that the soil is not the same anymore. There's so many other things that is placed on our foods that we feel like we're eating healthy, but we're really not. We're actually encouraging our bodies to do the opposite. So we got to be careful about that. There are just some vegetables I just don't eat. I don't eat those too many vegetables raw. I really don't. I cook my vegetables because of the time and climate that we are in. I am just not going to eat things raw like that. We soak our vegetables. We clean them very well as much as we can before we ingest them because there's a lot of things going on. Moderation is key. So no matter what type of diet that you're doing, understand that you need to do it moderately. You don't want to go overboard. Okay? Lettuce is awesome, but lettuce is ridden with pesticides. Unless you're getting organic lettuce, you're getting a lot of pesticides. And like I said, pesticides is going to get rid of the good bacteria in your body. You don't want that. Let's talk about the two bacterias. We have good bacteria and we have bad bacteria. The bad bacteria is what we call pathogenic bacteria. That is the bacteria that is going to encourage diseases, disorders, and discomforts. Let's talk about when the seed sets into people's bodies, right? It comes from several channels. First and foremost, for you to even get ill, there has to be something going on with your bloodstream. Okay, you guys are very quiet, and I understand that, guys. If you want to say hello, go ahead and say hello. Keep the hearts up. I am live. I do need some type of engagement in my videos to keep the algorithms going up as long as it's live. Okay. Also, make sure you're following me on my other entities. I do have a TikTok. It's Jenna Appleseed, and my YouTube is Delicious Healthy Bites, guys. It is what it is. Oh, and everything's at my site that's pinned. Okay, so yeah, when you are not eating correctly as far as that, all of your bacteria is going to be off. Do you guys take probiotics? Anybody? If you take probiotics, say me. Okay, probiotics are good, but they are good in moderation. Okay. Another thing about our guts is our gut does not work well when we're stressed. I literally feel like I'm a broken record. I'm not a broken record. I just know that the core to most diseases, if not all, is stress. Okay, stress will kill off your microbiomes in your or your bacteria in your gut very quickly, just like pesticides. There's no such thing as 100% anything. So you can go ahead and you can do everything healthy, but your body could find a way to still become some type of way. So you want to do an 80-20 rule, guys, 80-20 rule. But yeah, keep those good bacteria up. The way you do that is to keep the bad bacteria down. So pesticides will definitely cause your bad bacteria to be the dominant, and you don't want that. Okay. Another thing, let's talk about our meats. If it says antibiotic free, if it says no, see, antibiotic free, no steroids, and things like that. You want to lean towards meat like that. You do not want to lean towards conventional meat where it's nice and cheap and there's no signs of it saying that it doesn't have steroids. Let's talk about it. Steroids is another thing that can wreck our body. Okay, so we're trying to lose weight, but we're eating steroid-ridden meat. Steroids pump stuff up. Steroids will also ruin your organs after a while. That's why a lot of athletes who use steroids, I can name one. Well, no, she didn't. They didn't say she did, but when she passed away and she did have an autopsy and things like that, they found that all of her organs were very they were bigger than they should be. And I'm talking about FloJo, Florence Griffith, was it Joyner, FloJo? Okay, she was not deemed as steroid taker, but she was in sports and she overdid it. I think one day they said she did 5,000 crunches. Well, she basically messed up her whole system by doing that. Okay, that was overworking, and then boom, stuff happened. So yeah, steroids are not good. A lot of athletes have passed away from steroids. It's not good for you. There's this recently another wrestler just passed away yesterday. It's just like if you go on the news, it's like a whole bunch of celebrities is just dropping, and they were wrestlers. So it is what it is. Steroids are not bad. Not saying they use steroids, but I'm going to tell you this: the person that I'm talking about, I forgot their name, Scott something. But anyway, he fell and broke a hip. Once you stop using steroids, it's like your bones are like brittle. Mm. That's why a lot of older people, they have to have knee surgeries and hip surgeries. You don't have hip surgeries necessarily when you're young, but you definitely have them when you're older. It's because you've acquired so many things over the years, so many foods we take, so many medications we take that are steroidal and things like that, and it makes your bones brittle. So I'm going to say it probably ruins your absorption of calcium. Okay, so just be aware of that. We want to kind of go down a road where we're kind of doing things naturally. Okay, but yeah, no steroids, guys. If you're eating a lot of beef and it doesn't say grass fed and things like that, beef in and of itself is not good in big doses. So I hope you guys are not eating beef every day. Who in here eats beef every day? Just say me. Who eats a piece of red meat every day? Be honest. I'm sure some people in here who do that. Don't do that. Especially if you want to get better, if you want to lose weight, if you want to live longer, if you want to have a healthier body, please do not eat red meat every day. First of all, the cholesterol is through the roof. it stays in our system too long. Remember, I gave you the comparisons between the carnivorous animal versus the person who is not, I'm sorry, the animal who is carnivorous versus a human who is supposed to be omnivorous, which is more, you want to go ahead and eat more vegetables and things like that. Our systems are longer. Okay, our system is about 11 feet. Okay, it takes days for meat to get out of the system. Okay, meat stays in your system too long. Any meat that does that is going to cause you problems. Okay, it's going to cause you constipation. It's going to cause you estrogen dominance to my ladies who have fibroids and issues with their cycles. It's because you're eating too much meat. You need to increase, maybe switch over to maybe a fish diet. Okay, fish is not something you can have necessarily every day either. But fish literally is like, it's great folic acid in that it doesn't stay in our systems long. That's why when you eat a fish diet, you can eat like 20 pieces of fish and be straight because fish is ultimately very light. I mean, they have to get through the water, but the dynamic of the fish is totally different. It's a smaller animal. They're not full of hormones naturally. A cow is 2,000 pounds. So when we get in our house, we're thinking that we're eating a small animal. No, we're eating a large animal. The dairy that they push out is to basically grow an animal for 2,000 pounds. So if we're drinking it all the time, if we're ingesting that in our bodies, how big are we going to be? You know what I mean? And how many problems are we going to have? They say we're the only species that drinks the milk of another species. Okay, so it's kind of weird. I never was a milk drinker. I never did. I just never liked milk. I didn't like the taste of it. I mean, everyone loves cheese, but milk is just liquid problems for me. I don't like it. Don't like what it does. And then after you read about it and you study about it, it's not the best, guys. All right. Drinking your water. Okay, so the verdict is out, or the jury is out on that, okay, as far as the water. You want to drink water, but you don't want to drink too much water where you basically are diluting your cells and diluting your body. If you drink too much water, it's just as bad as not drinking enough water. So you have to have a balance and things like that. I roughly drink like, water at least once or twice an hour. I don't just sit there and just drink and never drink a whole bunch of water at one time. Okay, so if you see people guzzling water at one time, that is just too much for your kidneys. It's just too much, and then you could, become dehydrated just by doing that. So watch the amount of water. If you drink too much water, you dilute the acids in your stomach. We need enough acids to digest. Anybody in here had digestion problems? Oh, a lot of people do nowadays because of the stress levels, because of the antibiotics that we're taking every day. Oh, okay. I said pesticides, but I didn't talk about antibiotics. That's another thing too. Like why I don't like beef, because I don't think beef ever has anything on there. If they do, no steroids, no antibiotics. I mean, very rarely are you going to find beef like that. If you can find that, that's a blessing. But the turkey that I get, I make sure it says no steroids, no pesticides, or not no steroids, no antibiotics. Okay, so these animals, when they're raised up and they get infections and stuff, they have to give them antibiotics. Now, we all know nothing's 100% unless you raise the animal yourself. You really don't know what's going on. Okay, but you want to get the meat that says that, because if you're taking antibiotics, ladies, that is going to also kill off your good bacteria. Antibiotics are not good. You're thinking that you're just getting antibiotics when you go to the doctors, when you get an infection, they give you antibiotics. No, we're getting antibiotics in our food on a daily basis. That's why I've cut down my intake of food very much so. Okay, very much so. And when I say food, I mean like negative food. I just said, you know what? At this point, I eat to live. I don't live to eat. Now, when I was in my 20s, I lived to eat. I would look forward to the weekend because the weekends is when I would have all of my bad food, my order out food. I don't do that. I literally now I use food medicinally, medicinally as medicine. Okay. So let's get to the antibiotics. Antibiotics is killing off all of our good bacteria. That's why women are having BV and more yeast infections and UTIs and things like that. It's because of the foods we eat every day. Okay, that's why. Oh, the milk, the dairy. the vegetables. Like when we want to, the warm weather coming, you want to go ahead and you want to eat your salads from Wendy's, or your McDonald's salads, or your Zaxby's salads. Those salads, especially in like Subway too, it's no promise that they are using organic vegetables. Are they? No, they're not, more than likely. And so you can make your own salad at home. Get you some organic salad, romaine lettuce. Romaine lettuce is a little bit better than the iceberg lettuce. You can just kind of tell by when you put the lettuce in your refrigerator, if you buy a head of iceberg versus some romaine. The romaine is going to last longer. Iceberg is full of sugar. Okay, iceberg doesn't have a lot of nutrition. So you want to go ahead with the romaine lettuce. It's more tough as well. You can make a sandwich with romaine lettuce. It's very tough. Okay? If you guys have any questions, you know how to get in contact with me. And just go ahead to my holistic counselor. Go ahead and sign up. That's the only way to get in contact with me. I should be a little more open, but I don't have time to be more open to people who are not a part of the community. So the only way you're able to get in contact with me and doing one-on-one is to be a member of the community. Also, join me on my YouTube. YouTube is called Delicious Healthy Bites. I don't leave my content up on Facebook anymore. I literally just do a live situation on Facebook, and then I take my video down. There's no need to stay up. I want you guys to follow me over on YouTube. Another thing, guys, just be more aware of your body. Being aware of your body will keep you here longer. It will keep you here in good condition. Don't ignore pain. Don't ignore discomfort. Don't ignore swelling. All of that could be an indicator that things are building up in your system, like your lymphatic system, okay? So that's what it is. When you start to back up in your body, then disease will set in. We are built to constantly be purging and cleansing. Okay, you need to start taking herbs. It's going to help with circulation. If you're a person who sits down all the time, you have a sedentary life, and you don't exercise, you are going to be more apt to having more infections. You're going to be more overweight. You're going to have blood pressure that's up. You're going to have your glucose that's up because you don't exercise. If you don't remember anything else, remember this: your job is not your exercise. So if you have a physical job where you're walking or you're standing, or you're talking and you feel very zapped out or things like that, that's not exercise. That's just a huge stress. And then you go home, you eat, and you lie down, and your body literally built up all that stress. And stress is cumulative. Unless you are on purposely trying to lower your stress continuously builds, and that could take years and years. And that's why at a certain point of our lives we start to show signs of disorders, diseases, and discomforts. If anybody in here goes through what they would call not Alzheimer's, um, arthritis, okay? Arthritis, okay? Arthritis is basically rigor mortis for the living. I say that all of this. Well, I've never said that on camera, but I basically compared arthritis to rigor mortis, and rigor mortis is basically the body stiffening after life. Okay, after there's no life left. Okay, so when you have arthritis, my grandparents would call it old Arthur. When old Arthur has settled in, that is an indicator that you are stiffening up. Your joints are stiffening up. Your organs are stiffening up. Your blood supply is not circulating correctly. Everything's becoming kind of coagulated and things like that. That's not good. You want to start to take things that's going to help you circulate. I mean, there's no possible way that we're going to be able to exercise 24/7. So you want to be able to make sure that even when you're sleeping, your blood is freely rolling through your veins and your capillaries. Remember, veins are very, very small. So the littlest things that helps it thicken and clot and things like that will cause a problem. Okay, I'm hearing of young people having aneurysms and things like that. I can just go down the line and just what I've read. It's very sad, because of the climate that we're living in today, and most of the things that we're taking today and we're dealing with today, they say blood clots form. And so you should be in a condition where now you're trying to help your body to not form these blood clots, and because we're taking things and we're trying to fight things that are causing blood clots. You guys understand me? I'm talking a lot. You guys ain't saying jack to me, which I think is very rude. I think it's very rude for me to be live, okay? For me to be giving this information and no one's hitting the hearts, no one is saying hello. I think it's very rude. I really do. When you see someone talking to you, you're supposed to talk back. At least me. You know what I mean? It is what it is. I'm giving some tea. And I always give tea, guys. Make sure you are cutting your follow button on for the page that you're on, the I Love Beauty page. Make sure when you go over to my different channels, my Jenna Appleseed on TikTok, I'm on there too, and I plan to go live as well. So make sure that you turn on your notifications for that. I think you just have to follow that. And then you go over to my YouTube and put on all. Okay? Put all on there. Okay? So you guys can actually be aware of when I post. Okay? No one still said hello. You know what? I'm not cutting this. You know what? Let me see if I can get 3 people say hello to me. Who gonna be brave enough to say hello, Jenna? Let's see. So I can say hello back. Let's see. How long is it gonna take? Miss Cicely says hello. Who else is gonna go ahead and say hello? See, this is what I deal with. This is what I deal with. I deal with people. See, sometimes you can be too professional. Hi, Miss Bibbs. Hello. Okay, let's see. Let's see if we can get 3 more people to say hello. Yeah, if you say hello to me, I say hello back because we are virtual friends at that point. Who else gonna say hello to me? Who else? Who else? Anybody? But yeah, the thing about it is, guys, we just have to be more aware. Another indicator that your body needs a boost is if you do not have energy. Who in here has a problem with getting energy? And usually the way that we get more energy or the way we feel that we should get more energy is to eat more sugar. And sugar also ruins the gut. Did you guys know that? Of course you didn't. Of course you didn't, because I don't get paid to tell you guys stuff that you know. I tell you things that you do not know. Okay? And that's why it's very important for you guys to follow me on my different channels and things like that so you guys can be in the know. Because it's out there. It says we perish for a lack of knowledge. And not just perish like physically, but just perish where we're just not mentally growing. And if you're not mentally growing, if you're not aware, then of course you're going to just die out. So you have to become more aware of your body because this body is awesome. It's miraculous. It's a beautiful thing. We don't pay attention to it unless we are in pain. Okay? Once you have pain or once you have a discomfort, and then you get out of that, you figure out what to do so you're not like that, you appreciate your body so much better. And then you get to the point where you want to say, okay, how can I stay on this track? Okay, let's see. Okay. All right, guys. So I want to go. I'm gonna start going live on TikTok as well. I'm gonna see how it is. I just don't vibe over there as much because it's different. But I'm gonna try to go over there as well. I'm also gonna start going live on my YouTube as well. I have to give like these other platforms some time if it's gonna basically give me time. Like a lot of us, we expect good things, but we don't want to give to that thing. That's for relationships as well. You want everything to be in your favor, but you don't want to give any work to it. So I have to do and honor my own self and do that. So please make sure that you are following me on all of those channels. Thumbs up the videos. I'm going to start posting more on my YouTube. I have so many videos on YouTube that I haven't even posted. It's just such a sin. I have a lot. And I'm going to start sharing that. Also on the YouTube, I do have memberships as well over there. And The memberships actually have exclusive content. Okay, so basically it's for paid people. Okay, so over there it's great videos. That's basically my quest to get this information out there, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you missed the beginning, go over to YouTube. It'll be up in about an hour.